Hulk Hogan. Um, Talk about topical news for the past several days. Um, if you've been hiding in under a rock somewhere, bottom line this thing, Hulk Hogan was recorded 8 years ago, I believe it was, saying a lot of racial things, dropping the N-word left and right. He was being recorded, unbeknownst to him, while he was during this whole sex tape thing that happened years ago, I guess 8 years ago, like I said. And it surfaced. National Enquirer broke it out there, busted out there, and then, good gosh, everybody grabbed it. The WWE fired him, basically diminished everything about him and abolished everything about him on their site. Everything about Hulk Hogan, gone. Very sad. The whole thing, this is my point of view, the whole thing. Mainly the comments he said, the words he used. I know it was 8 years ago. People change. I know that too. And unfortunately, we all make mistakes. We do. And the more unfortunate thing is we got to be accountable for our mistakes. And I think Hulk's feeling that now 8 years later. Some of the things he said while he was being recorded, in my opinion, that N-word thing, I hate it, okay? I hate that word. A lot of you all hate that word. Some of you don't care about that word. I hate the word. Okay, I went to a high school that was very diverse, a whole mixture of Hispanics to Caucasian kids to Asian kids to, African American kids. So I grew up a certain way where you knew the boundaries, you knew where and when not to disrespect other nationalities, races, or what have you. So I grew up that way, and I believed that way. But I also knew kids that would say that word that weren't African American, and I just wasn't a fan. I just never got into it. I never said it. I don't believe in that. I think that word's disgusting. My son's a teenager, and he's the same way. My wife's the same way. We don't say that. Now, speaking of teenagers, the music these kids listen to, I'm almost like an old man here. Any kind of hip-hop or rap music, I mean, most of these songs have that N-word in it on a constant basis. Any of you that listen to that music or have a teenage boy or girl that listens to that music or you're allowed to listen to it, you understand that those songs have like the N-word nonstop. Doesn't make it right. And some would say, well, it's a double standard because an African-American person can say that and there's no heat, but a white person says it. Well, yeah, you're damn right. That's the way it should be. Hey, look, I'm Italian, okay? And if I'm talking to another paisan, another Italian guy, and I call him a wop or a guinea, hey, I'm one, and he's one. We laugh. But if somebody comes in to the conversation and says that isn't, well, that's a problem. And I just believe there's those certain lines. And that's just my opinion, my commentary, my stance. Has nothing to do with CBS Radio or Play It. That's my opinion on the whole race thing. I don't want to dwell on it. I'm not a fan of it. A lot of you were asking me to give an opinion about Hulk Hogan and tweeting me a lot since the news broke. I laid out. I didn't say nothing because I'm not comfortable with it. I don't believe it should be part of wrestling. It shouldn't be part of sport. It shouldn't be part of anything. It's just not a good topic. But Hulk Hogan is arguably the biggest name in the history of sports entertainment and pro wrestling. So I have to give an opinion on it, and that's why I'm doing this. I got to tell you, in my time getting to know Hulk Hogan in the WWE when I was commentating SmackDown and then during TNA, I always got along with Hulk. Hulk was always really, really nice to me, always really cool to me, and I always had that respect for Hulk. And a lot of us in the business respect Hulk because of what he's done. And no matter if people say he's a good guy, people say he's a bad guy, I can just speak for myself. He's never done anything bad to me. And he was definitely a guy who paved the way for so many of us and had so much success. But, this just, I don't think you come back from this, in my opinion. Unfortunately for Hulk, I think that he's going to have to, he's going to have to do the job here bad on this, because this is bad what he said, even though it was years ago. Bad. And I think he's just, and then apparently he's still tweeting and retweeting stuff. And I think PW Insider, I was reading, I think it was Dave Shearer or Mike Johnson, one of the guys at PW Insider was saying, like tweeting about or something, said something on one of their sites, say, someone, I'm paraphrasing, stop Hulk Hogan. Someone get control of this guy's Twitter account because he's like, he shouldn't be doing this. I mean, Hulk, you need to just, chill and just get out of the public eye in every way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't understand. I'm a little confused. I mean, you got to just chill. It's just bad. It's real bad. I think it's a black eye in the wrestling business just because Hulk Hogan was such a powerful force in the business and in mainstream entertainment. Everybody knows Hulk Hogan. So I think that hurts the business a little bit. WWE, I think, did the right thing. They have to and had to distance themselves from him. And they knew it right away. Once they knew the National Enquirer was going to drop this thing, it seems like they just cut him out of every single thing. And they have to. They are a publicly traded company, a multi-million, billion-dollar phenomenon. They have to protect themselves. So no one can fault or knock WWE for the way they handled this, honestly. I just think it's sad. I think that, especially, for folks that he offended heavily, namely, anyone that was a fan of his that maybe is African American. I think it's, or wrestlers that are African American. I mean, we saw tweets from people like Booker T or Mark Henry, and I think those gentlemen handled their tweets properly. In my view, the things they posted, and you can go on their Twitter accounts to check them out. I'm not going to read them here. I just think the whole situation sucks, and there's a part of me that wants to keep saying I feel bad for Hulk, but how do you feel bad? I mean, he said this. You hear it on tape. It's like, how do you feel bad for the guy? You can't. He said it. Even though it was years ago, and he's changed, I guess, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like, it's reprehensible comments, and those it's just not cool. And I'm not an angel. I've hasn't been an angel my whole life. I try to do the right thing. I pride myself on that. We all make mistakes in life, in everything. We're all sinners. We all make mistakes. I'm not going to get on my religious soapbox here, but we all make mistakes. We're going to keep making mistakes. Some mistakes are bigger than others. This was a big mistake. And the guy didn't know he was being taped. Right? So some would say, well, this, dude's being taped and he didn't know. What are you going to say about that? It doesn't matter. He said it. It was a private conversation. You would think that's a private conversation. It stays private, but his feelings kind of came out while his privacy was invaded. I mean, that's kind of what happened here. I just think Hulk Hogan's done. Sad way to go out. Sad way to go down. It's kind of in a different. This might sound very weird. Just again, my opinion. Kind of reminds me of the great legacy career that like a Joe Paterno had at Penn State, and then all that stuff happened. What the charges against his coaches and stuff like that, and all that. And then for someone like Joe Paterno, and then once he steps down and he passes away, it was just so weird, the whole thing. And I was always a fan of Penn State football, and all that stuff. I just thought it was just a really funky bad way for such a legacy coach to go down, a legacy household name like Paterno, and it's kind of similar in my crazy mind with Hulk Hogan, I don't know if that makes sense to any of you all, but it just kind of, to me, I just felt like sharing that with you guys. Just my opinion. Don't bash me on it. Just the way I feel, So I'll just try to be real with you guys. And, me, I don't work off a script. I'm just shooting and just giving my feelings on it.